Test.
Well, yeah.
Thank you. I know.
That's good.
Jeremy.
This is Jeremy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just got here from Mexico.
You gotta run over and hug her.
So, you too. Thank you. Thank you for the time that you spent.
Whose is that? Where'd you leave it?
What?
Please be seated. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate this momentous occasion with us. You are here for an historic event. Judge Francis will be the very first person ever sworn into this position as a Snohomish County District Court Judge, Cascade Division, position number 2. Before we get started, I just want to share some thank yous from our bench to some people who helped to make this possible. First of all, I would like to thank the entire Snohomish County District Court team who were instrumental in making this happen. Second, Senator Lovick, we're incredibly grateful to you for your help. Senator Lovick championed Senate Bill 5003 that made it possible for Snohomish County to add an additional district court judge. I also like to acknowledge and thank the Snohomish County Council. Jared Mead's here present with us today. We thank all the members who helped us again to make this possible by changing local law, allowing us to add this additional position, allowing us the funding and giving us this opportunity to provide better services. I also like to thank the Administrative Office of the Courts, the Board of Judicial Administration, who at the time was co-chaired by Judge Tambui of our bench, as well as the District and Municipal Court Judges Association, President Rick Leo of our bench, and all of the people who went down to Olympia and testified or helped us out at the council. Also the executive's office, especially a shout out to Stephanie Wright, who went down to Olympia with us to also help champion this bill. Now I'd like to take an opportunity to introduce some important people who are with us today. First of all, I'd like to start with the judges who have joined us today. We have Linda Coburn from the Court of Appeals. We have presiding Judge George Apple of the Superior Court. We have Judge Paul Thompson, also of the Superior Court. Judge Pat Moriarty of the Superior Court. Judge, let's see, Commissioner Solomon King is also present. Thank you. Judge Clef is also present. Retired Judge Stephen Clef is present. He also was a huge part of getting this position possible. Judge Jeffrey Goodwin, Assistant Presiding of the District Court, is present. Judge Jennifer Langvin of the Superior Court, present. Judge Miguel Duran of the Superior Court, also present. Thank you. Our new judge from the Superior Court, Judge Will Steffner, thank you. Retired Commissioner Brodbeck joined us as well, thank you. Our most senior judge is Judge Patricia Lyon, also present. Judge Tambui. Judge Doug Fair is here with us. Thank you. Almost retired Judge Fair. Judge Michelle Gelson of the King County District Court. Commissioner Millette from our district court. Judge Amy Kastner of the, Everett Municipal Court. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Judge Anthony Howard from our district court and Judge Judge Anna Alexander of the Superior Court. Thank you all for joining us. We also have some elected officials and that are present with us. For example, we have again Jared Mead is present, Senator Lovick. Jason Cummings has joined us tonight as well. And we have the director of the Public Defenders Association, Kathleen Kyle, present. I'd like to ask Kathleen Kyle to come up and make some statements on behalf of Judge Francis.
I didn't know you were going to be right there. I do want to take a moment and just ground us all in this momentous occasion. I want to take a moment in this momentous occasion to repeat for you Rachelle Francis's mantra. And in recognition of this momentous occasion, I will not make you repeat it back to me. You can just say it in your head. So all of you introverts in the room and online, you're welcome. Presence over hustle. Flow over force. Compassion over judgment. Brave over stuck. Progress over perfection. Community over competition. Compassion. What Rachelle will bring to our Snohomish County District Court is 22 years of experience working with some of the most vulnerable in our community. And there is no one better suited for this role because Rachelle grew up here and she graduated from Stanwood High School, graduated from the University of Washington, and she graduated from the Seattle School of Law. She started her career 22 years ago with us. I'm Kathleen Kyle. I'm the director of the Snohomish County Public Defender Association, and I have worked with Rachelle from all of her 22 years. What Rachelle dedicated a lot of her career toward was the Involuntary Treatment Act, which is one person in our office described it as the unique and complex vortex of medical, mental health, civil, and criminal laws. And Rachelle was known for her compassion. But somebody told a story at our goodbye party about 2 weeks ago, maybe longer now, and about having an interaction with somebody who came in at a level 10. And Rachelle joined and reduced that to a 4 just by her presence. And maybe Rachelle was born with that, but probably that was 22 years of skill building and embodiment of compassion, that person could take the moment and pause, and she brought that presence and compassion there. Another one of our colleagues described Rachelle as one of the most culturally competent and sensitive people in our organization. And so that will be on joining Judge Rancourt in the Cascade Division. Brave. I saw a Kleenex box come out, so I hope you all will share. When I look at Rachelle's family, it fills my heart. And I see that Judge Howard's family has joined us and my family has joined us. And a couple weeks ago, we were here for Judge Steffner swearing in, and Judge Steffner understood that he was interested in being a judge pretty early in his career, maybe even before. Judge Francis was different. She did not always have that as a professional aspiration. And one of the things that we bonded over was parenting. And I know that I just want to thank her family, because I think it was through watching you develop that we are all here today, that she really rejoiced in the moments of watching you all grow, and not just the moments of victory, but also the moments that we call character building, and the moments where you had to get back up after falling down. And that is what gave her the bravery to put her name in for this position. So thank you. And then community. We are just so lucky that here in Snohomish County, that there are opportunities to grow up, be educated, and pursue the careers that you want to do. Not all communities have those options. Rachelle has really leaned into the opportunities presented to her, but she is also unique because she sees solutions and breaks down barriers where a lot of other people get stuck. Rachelle helped partner through the COVID epidemic, and ITA work never slowed down. That the administrative processes that were developed during that time were adopted by our Supreme Court. She is a fantastic lawyer. She is a fantastic administrator, and I'm sure she's going to be a fantastic judge. Thank you for coming and celebrating in this moment. Thank you to those online. I hope you will remember this feeling. I have chills. It may be the air conditioning. But it's going to be delightful to watch you on the bench.
Thank you. Before I ask our next speaker to come up, I do want to introduce some of Rachelle's family who is present with us today. She's joined today by Mike Leaves, her husband, also her children, Raquel, Tanner, Lydia, and Cameron are all present. Thank you. Bill and Sandy Horn, her mother and stepfather. Thank you. Mike Francis, as well as Mike and Marilyn Hovey, Eric Francis, Rick Horn, Diana and Brian, is it Wadey? Thank you. Tammy Horn and Sherry Davis, Heather and Herb Cranton, Aye. John Hovey. Shaylee Broussard. Thank you all for joining us. Also, Steve and Bonnie Francis are appearing via Zoom or here watching us via Zoom. Thank you for joining us. All right, with that, I'd like to ask if Eric could please come forward and give some remarks on behalf of Rachelle.
Everybody hear me? Hope so. Oops. So I'm Eric, Rachelle's younger brother. And when she texted me a couple of days ago and asked me to do this, I was planning on a roast, quite frankly. It's fine, formal people and outside of our family, so it's probably not a good idea. Anyway, I was surprised because the reality is she and I never really got along very well growing up, which continued into adulthood. A lot of differences, same parents, same upbringing, but I'm a Republican, she's a Democrat. I'm a cop, she's a defense attorney. So we've never really seen eye to eye. So, and there's plenty of people in this audience that can attest to the I don't want to say dysfunction, but the reality of our relationship was typically arguments over politics and social issues that we completely disagreed with. I got a funny story. Brian's not here, unfortunately. But, Brian, our brother-in-law, typically leans a little right, like me. And so we're in the middle of this heated argument, probably about, I don't know, drugs being legal or something along those lines. And so it gets to a point where it's uncomfortable. People have left the room. And Brian comes up to me and he's like, come on, Eric, it's time to go. And I'm like, I just want to hit her. And he whispers, he goes, I do too. So anyway, it's slight exaggeration, but not really. That is, I think we kind of got to that point in our relationship where we agreed to disagree. So over the last couple of years, I've remained the obnoxious, difficult one. And she, I've noticed, has been much more obliged and easy to accept my point of view, which I appreciate. It's gotten to the point where she actually considered voting for Donald Trump in 2012. But maybe in 24. So at any rate, she's much more open-minded and objective than I am, could ever be. It's a skill set that a lot of people don't have, and I appreciate it. And I was very honored to be up here today because I was, again, very surprised. Initially, I'm thinking roast, and my wife's saying, if you do, you are going to get destroyed. So I tried to think of the right thing to say, while being respectful of everybody in the room. But so long and short of it, I thought yesterday about what a judge is. It's about finding truth. It's about being fair, equitable. It's about wanting to do the right thing, find justice, but that's never always the case. We never get to that point. I wish we could. I think in law enforcement and defense, we're always going to have these differences. But Shell has the ability to find that truth through an impartial attitude, again, that I don't have, a lot of people don't have. When I heard that you were up for this position, I was thrilled because I truly think that you are the best person for the job. I mean that with my heart. You probably think I don't, but it's true. It's people that are able to sit up on the bench and use that ability without partisanship, without politics, is a special character, a special skill set. And again, I don't have it. After nearly 30 years, I wish I did professionally. I try, but she does. And I think I know she's going to represent the citizens of Snohomish County very, very well. So I'm honored to be up here and speak on behalf of our family and friends. You deserve it. Congratulations.
With that, I would invite you up to take your oath. I'm just ask that you repeat after me. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Rachelle Francis,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
perform and discharge the duties of the office
perform and discharge the duties of the office
of District Court Judge, Cascade Division, Position 2,
District Court Judge, Cascade Division, Position 2,
for my term according to the law and to the best of my ability.
for my term according to the law and the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Rachelle, we're absolutely thrilled to have to call you Judge Francis. Welcome to the bench. We've heard obviously of your amazing qualities. I mean, that's why we all supported you and are absolutely thrilled that you'll be in this position. You've dedicated your life to representing the most vulnerable in our population. You've gained skills and knowledge that are priceless to this position. Your temperament is amazing. I have no doubt that you will bring all of those qualities and more to the bench. Thank you for joining us. Would you like to share some words?
Good afternoon. I did want to go through a list of thank yous because I'm so very thankful for the people that have helped me through this process and throughout my life. So I'll try and be brief, but it's important that I acknowledge these folks. To Senator Lovick and the Snohomish County Council, thank you for the time that you took to meet with me and encourage me, and for your advocacy in creating this position. To all of those, many of you in the room who endorsed me, wrote letters of support, I can't thank you enough. My appreciation goes so deep because that motivated me along the way. To the Snohomish County District Court for their unanimous endorsement and their advice. Many of you met with me, which again motivated me to move forward. I'm so excited to work with this group. And I also thank you for recognizing the importance of addressing mental health in our district court. To Judge Clough, a special acknowledgement. I've seen you now a couple times in the last couple of months, and this means a lot to me. You were a mentor to me. You taught me the importance of discipline and hard work and managing a heavy caseload, and those skills carried with me throughout my career. To Judge Howard for taking time out of our kids' ball games. I see Finn in the back, and calming me, giving me great advice along the way. It was always at the right time when I really needed it. By Sunday night on a weekend, I really needed that encouragement. And to Commissioner Millette, who we're kind of in this together, and she's given me some really valuable advice and taken the time to help me along the way. Particularly though to Judge Rancourt for her advocacy and work on this position. I can't be more excited to work with you. And I can't leave out who I hope some of which are watching, the entire Cascade District Court staff, who, having been part of a work family for 22 years and then transitioning into a completely different one, it was a little intimidating, but they welcomed me graciously and have been very patient with me through this learning curve. So thank you all. To the Snohomish County Public Defender Association, my work family for 22 years, to all the defenders who inspired me daily to be a better advocate and recognize the dignity in all participants in the court process. To Bill Jaquette, who is not here, but the former director of the Snohomish County Public Defenders. I'm told he's winging off to Iceland, but he was a wonderful mentor to me, and he taught me some valuable lessons. to Kathleen Kyle and Jennifer McIntyre, the dynamic duo who recognized that leadership can show up in many different ways, that it's not just the loudest voice in the room, who nudged me at all the right times and allowed me to be my authentic self. Shout out to my civil unit friends who collaborated to build and strengthen our civil advocacy in the public defender's office. And special thanks to Annika Carlston, who has been in lockstep with me for the past 20 years. To my parents, Bill and Sandy Horn, who basically just let me be me because it was the path of least resistance. But particularly to my mom, who is the kindest person that I know and led me by example. My in-laws, Mike and Marilyn Hovey, who made up the team with my husband, Mike, and I, were the biggest sports fans ever and the greatest chauffeurs, who moved up 5 minutes from us to help us out in our chaotic lifestyle. Thank you. To my stepmom, Mike, who is here. My dad passed away a few years ago, and my deepest regret about today is that he's not here. But I know he's here in spirit, and I appreciate your presence here, Mike. My siblings, my brother Eric, who it's true we didn't always get along, but I think we've grown to have a mutual respect for each other. To my other siblings who are here, there are 6 of us, and I thank you for not having any drama. We always talk about our family has very little drama, and that allows me to focus on other things. Okay, to my kids. You cannot be a good parent and be a hypocrite. Your kids are always watching. I want them to know by my words and actions how important character and integrity are. Values and doing the right thing even when others are not looking. They've given me the gift of accountability. Thank you. To my husband, Mike, so I don't cry, I will leave it at this. Everyone should have a mic. If you know him, you know exactly what I mean. And if you don't know, you should go find a mic. So just a few words, and this kind of goes to the topic of being a public defender for 22 years, made me question whether or not I could be a fair and impartial judge. And I'm sure many others had that question as well. And after much reflection, I concluded that yes, I believe that I can. And I will tell you why. I think that it comes down to balance. There are many cultures that really value the principle of balance in their life and in their culture. The Navajo language has a word, hozo, which is perhaps the most important word in their language. It's loosely translated as balance. In Chinese culture and philosophy, Taoism, for example, the symbol of yin yang represents the idea of balance. And for all of you legal buffs out there, what about the scales of justice? Justice is all about finding balance and knowing when things are out of balance. Throughout history, the idea of balance is prioritized. I recognized at some point in my adult life the value of finding balance, the importance of finding balance. We've all heard about balancing work life, but it's so important to maintaining a healthy lifestyle. I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to work part-time while my kids were young, to be able to support a good work-life balance. As they got older and they don't need me as much, I've been able to focus more on my career. That's knowing when to balance, when to hold back, when the scales are tipping one way or the other. Raising kids is another area where one perpetually has to seek balance. You know, when they're little, it's how much sugar, how much screen time, how much latitude as they get older to make their own choices versus as a parent, still setting healthy boundaries and holding them accountable. Relationships are about a healthy balance, give and take, reciprocity. Even when ideas don't match up, like my brother and I sometimes, finding a balance, finding other ways to connect. Probably most importantly is mental health and physical health. Balance is everything. I've been honest about the fact that anxiety has been a companion to me for my entire life. But I found that when it was balanced properly, it could be a positive. It could be a strong motivating force to get things accomplished. And at no time was that more clear than during the appointment process, a process that was so far out of my comfort zone, so anxiety triggering. But given the years of seeking a balanced approach to fear and anxiety, I was able to overcome and move forward. So how does that all relate to me being a fair and impartial judge? I think you get the idea. It's all about balance. Going back to the scales of justice. Justice is synonymous with weighing and measuring and finding balance. Through the pursuit of that in every other area of my life, I know that I'm ready to take on this great responsibility and honor. Thank you all for being here today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I have friends here, our coworkers, family. It's just an honor to be able to speak to all of you and to have you here on my behalf. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Judge Francis. Could you have Mike please assist you in putting on your robe so you can join us here? Thank you all again for coming to join us to celebrate this momentous day. We could not be more excited to have Judge Francis join us on the bench. With that, let's go. I'll go have a celebration. She does have a reception to follow. Please join us. With that, we'll be adjourned. Please rise.